Columbia University will cede to a list of demands from President Trump's administration following a threat to halt the university's $400 million in federal funding. The university has agreed to ban masks, to give campus police enhanced power to arrest students, and to other demands as well. The Trump administration had moved aggressively to investigate anti-Semitism on campuses across the U.S., with a focus on Columbia in particular, following last year's on-campus protests. Joining us right now to talk about school defunding, free speech, and more is Paul Alivisatos. He is president of the University of Chicago. And Paul, thank you for being here today.
Good morning. Thank you.
So let's talk about what's happening at this point. Columbia pretty quickly caved to the Trump administration's demands. I know that there have been a number of university professors who have asked you not to do the same at the University of Chicago. But where do you think we stand right now?
So, first of all, let me say, right now, we're in a crisis of trust for higher education. And the way universities build trust or can rebuild trust is by showing over and over again that they're genuinely places of truth-seeking. And for us at the University of Chicago, that means we start from free expression. It means we teach our students to look at problems from different sides, to engage on issues where they have a difference thoughtfully, with rigor, being quantitative, with curiosity. Those kinds of things, which are embedded in the Chicago principles and institutional neutrality. The situation at Columbia is very concerning for two reasons. One is I'm very concerned about the many young scientists there who are working on important projects. They're working on important projects for them and for the country and its competitiveness. So I'm very concerned about what's happening to them. And what we see also is there are obviously threats to free expression that come from below, cancel culture, disruption of classes. Those things should not be happening at universities. But on the other hand, now we're also seeing that there can be threats to free expression that come from government intervention inside the university.
I mean, University of Chicago is in a very unique place, I think, because of your history, because of what you've laid out. I think back to 2016 and a letter that the dean wrote to the incoming freshmen that year that caught a lot of flack because you said that this was not going to be a school where there were safe places or worries about triggering students on campus. You took a step out and said, that's not what we're going to have here. But then I look at what's happened with some of the protests you've seen on your campus, too. You had 5 students that didn't receive their degrees last year because they were involved in some of these protests. They all eventually got their degrees and kind of came out and talked some trash about how this shows that this was a complete win for them on those sides. The ADL has said that they have concerns. I think they gave you a D grade for protecting Jewish students on campus. So you're kind of in the middle, caught on both sides of this thing.
Well, first of all, let me say that we do allow protest on the campus. It's part of free expression, and it occurs. But we draw the line at disruption, and we've been very consistent with that. And I think we've done that such that students truly are learning. I will say the ADL also did say that Jewish life on the campus is actually excellent. What they did say is they would like for us to make statements whenever other people make statements that are, offensive to them. And we have institutional neutrality. We don't make statements every day. That's part of why I think our university has such a strong free expression culture.
I mean, Columbia deserved what it got in this case. There are Jewish students that are afraid for their life at Columbia. You're saying that's different where you are. So suddenly the left is concerned with free expression for Hamas protesters. Didn't give a rat's ass about it for conservatives appearing on campus or for misgendering some. I mean, it's totally doled out depending on what their point of view is. So the liberal.
I can speak to our university.
I know you can, but I saw Larry Summers saying that. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about Columbia. And you allowed conservatives to speak.
We sure do.
Not everyone did.
Well, so I told you we're in a crisis of trust for higher education.
Self-inflicted.
And the way back is for universities themselves, frankly, to come our way more, to be truth-seeking and to allow all the different kinds of expression.
You don't think that the Harvard president, Columbia president, Penn president, you don't think that they all had reasons to lose their positions given their response to the Hamas protesting what happened to Jewish students.
I can't speak to what's happening
Why
at
not?
those universities.
Why
because
not?
My position is to really say what I think is the way forward, to say what's the way forward for all of these institutions.
Okay.
And the way is to commit themselves
It's not hard to say that they should have protected the safety.
Well, I definitely, look, that's what we do. I certainly believe that's the right way.
It's easy enough
that's
to say
the right
they should
way.
have too, and that
that's
it was probably well-deserved what happened
Well,
to
let's talk a
Columbia.
little bit about the funding, because there are some big concerns about the funding getting cut. You mentioned for scientists who are there, and this could gut the scientific study that we see at American universities and institutions.
I'm deeply concerned about it. So let me give you an analogy. Let's say that the United States we're in a geopolitical competition to have scientific, technological, and therefore ultimately economic preeminence. And if we think about the United States over many decades, we're a little bit like a city where we field many sports teams, and every year we're at the top. We win championships in every area of science and technology every single year. We're at the top globally. That can be at risk if young people don't see a path for themselves where there's funding and support for them to follow their careers. And I can just give you example after example, at least at my university, of some of the amazing things that the young people are doing. It's inspiring, and we want to keep them in the game.
Will the universities that have deep endowments, like the University of Chicago, step in to keep that funding until this gets settled and resolved, or are there going to be cuts like we saw at Johns Hopkins in
Look,
Baltimore?
at the moment at the University of Chicago, we're able to continue our work, but of course we're deeply concerned about what we see that's going on elsewhere. I want to give you two examples of things that we do with our endowment, which I think your viewers will care about. We now have received some wonderful gifts that enable us to have 10% of our student body come from rural communities, 10%. That's an astonishing percentage, and I think they bring viewpoints to the campus that enrich us. At the same time, here's another gift we just received in September. It's a gift that enables us to create our Chicago Forum for Free Inquiry and Expression. It's an incredible place. It's now sustained by that gift. So the endowments are enabling us to do important things. They're not just there to kind of pick up from other things.
Did we move to Doge? Is that what we're on now, or were you talking about what happened with Columbia?
No, this is the $400 million. This is
the $400 million.
This isn't NIH funding, actually.
No, I understand, but was it from the? It was levied against Columbia because of
the halt of funding.
The halt of funding had to do with the violent Hamas demonstrations.
Very well. I'm just saying that there are scientists in many laboratories in Columbia that are now young people who are working on really important.
But if Columbia gets its act together, the funding comes back, doesn't it?
I hope so.